It's come to my attention that people are getting super overwhelmed with this Republican democracy, like democratic thing in our democracy. You're either Republican or you're Democrat. But the truth is, we're not either of those. Those are just parties, those are affiliations. What we are is we're a country. We're America. Yeah, we have a lot of different people from a lot of different backgrounds, but that's what makes our country our country. And a lot of people don't understand what's going on, and it's not because they're uneducated, because obviously they've gone through some form of school, whether it be, they just stopped at high school or they went on to college, and just because someone stopped at high school doesn't mean that they're not smart as someone who went on to college. Maybe they couldn't afford it, or maybe it just wasn't the right timing. There's a whole bunch of factors, and people like to, disregard people who don't have such formal education. And in our country right now, our educational system is just so not what it used to be. We used to be one of the, higher ups, and now we're not. I mean, look at California. And I know because I used to live there. The educational system there is so far gone that kids don't even know what half the terminology used in general conversation means. I can't tell you how many times I've been asked, well, what does that mean? I'm like, okay, well, I mean, it's not really your fault. It's the government's fault. They're supposed to provide. That's part of the Constitution. Okay, so on top of that, these kids, they don't get enough. They have cutbacks because they can't afford, because California's in debt. They have a budget crisis. So they're in debt, so they make cutbacks. So you cut back, and then these kids, you have instead of 30 in a room because it's already so full, because California is so populated, now you have 60 in a room. And you have 30 on the floor, 30 in chairs, one teacher trying to control the group, and no one can do it, because once you lose one kid, they all start misbehaving, and it's a framework, and it digresses downward. And yeah, you could say, well, if the kids want to learn, they'd be quiet. They're kids. They're not going to be like, hey, let me go to school. Hey, I really want to go to school. I really want to learn today. Hey, let me go sit in a class with 60 other people. I really want to do that today. No, they're not. They want to go play frisbee, go kick a soccer ball, go play basketball, go play their football, or whatever the heck sport they play. They don't want to be in a classroom because, yeah, it's valuable, and they may understand the value. I'm not speaking for all kids, but majority kids don't like school because it's work, and they don't like work. But you know what we are? We're building a lazy America. We are. We're allowing kids, hey, you don't want to do that? That's okay. Or, wow, you don't want to sit here and learn in a room full of 60 people. You must have ADD. You have to have ADD because you can't pay attention. No, it's not the fact that there's overcrowding, or not the fact that, you can't even hear what the teacher's saying because there's so many people. No. You have ADD. Let's drug you up. Oh, wait. We can't pay for your drugs. So we should definitely have, healthcare that goes throughout the whole U.S. because, of course, that's just a great idea. Except that it's not. In theory, it's good, You might have, longer lifespans, and, that's definitely a good thing. And it makes sure that everyone gets treatment. But people, I'm not saying that healthcare is bad. I'm just saying that wouldn't be beneficial to you in the long run, because one, you're going to have someone going to the ER when they have a paper cut, or going to an urgent care when they have a paper cut, and you have a guy that's behind you gashing blood, but he can't go in front of you. No, because you have to wait in line, so it's all equal. Yeah, what does that sound like? And so, it's understandable that maybe, based on income and so forth, the government could have a program for people who are less fortunate, like in our city, and for, really, really, really lower class, or homeless people, where either they pay a small fee, or the government takes over, like people who make less than that bracket, what is it, 15,000 a year or something? People who make less than the bracket get some sort of health care provided. And then people who are just above that bracket have to pay a little bit into the program. That would be okay, I think, with the majority of the people, because that's not an entire healthcare system that's controlling everything. And then for everything else, you can still have your privatized healthcare that keeps everybody happy, and it keeps the people who really need it their chance to actually still have it. People just, they don't think things through, it seems sometimes. But back to the schools. So, they can't do that, and they have this whole debacle, and then you have angry kids and angry parents, and people don't know what to do. And then you have parents going to school saying, hey, I don't want my child reading that book. Guess what? Not that long ago, this is a true story. A child, I think she was in middle school, reading the dictionary. Okay, now I don't know about you. The last time I checked, the dictionary has every single word in the human language, minus some slang, like I think podcast was added. I'm not sure. So, there's a little room of no words in the dictionary, but those aren't really words anyway. So this girl opens up the book and finds the word oral sex in the dictionary. Well, I mean, if it's not in the dictionary, it's a slang term, but it's obviously not a slang term because oral, means by mouth or other things. And, sex is in the dictionary because that's reproduction, that's science. So, oral sex in the dictionary. Her mom freaked out and had all of the dictionaries in that school district pulled. All the dictionaries, every single one, were pulled from that school and the rest of the district. So, now, I can understand censorship. Like, maybe there should be a little barcode tag or something like, hey, might have something that could offend you. But the dictionary, that's pretty standard. I mean, I could understand if there was, like, racism in a book, maybe. That they should be like, all right, well, you have to sign a form if you want to read it, or if you don't want to read it, you get to do something else. But no. She had it. That's an irrational thing. That's from being stressed. You have all these things going on. And you got healthcare to worry about. You got the economy. You got stocks. You have the idea that you might not even be able to retire. And then your kid comes home asking, hey, what's oral sex? And you're just like, say, what? Where did you hear that word? Oh, I read it at this book at my school. And it's like, book at your school? What book? The dictionary. Well, by golly, let's take out the dictionary so now kids don't know what the fuck anything means. Sorry. Now we're gonna have kids who can't spell. Forget the spelling bee. That's the thing of the past. We'll just abbreviate everything. The letter U, the letter R, G2G. You gotta go somewhere, or you are going to go somewhere. It doesn't matter, but you abbreviate so much that you don't even remember what the real word was in the first place, or even how to spell it. Yeah, I tried telling somebody the other day that I before E except after C, or except in a long A sound as in neighbor or way. Yeah, they didn't know it. Why? Because the school wasn't teaching it to them. Weird. Okay, so here's the thing. Educated, uneducated, it doesn't matter. Majority of the U.S. is educated in some shape, way, or form. They know what certain things mean. They have basic math skills. The majority are literate. There are a few that are illiterate, but that may be because the bad school system. It was a different time. There are older people now, or learning disabilities.